What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are returning to the Gryps conflict as we continue our coverage of Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta Define. Last time, the Titans imprisoned Camille's parents, and Capricorn steals Quattro's Rick Diaz. This time, Camille will try to save his parents, and Hyman gets EFF to give him more power. So let's get into this. Capricorn launches and knocks over his Hyzak in the process, so the AUG won't get their hands on it. He rushes back and tells his teammates not to shoot him down. Quattro wonders if this was their plan the whole time. He tells Astonage to prep the Mark II. Camille overhears this and rushes to the hangar to take out the mobile suit first. Camille gets into Unit 1. Quattro tells Bright to get the Mark II Unit 2 ready for launch. Emma is still on board the Argama. She wants to go out in Unit 3 to help Camille. Flex doesn't think that they could trust her as she is a Titan, but Bright believes that she isn't going to live under Basque's shadow anymore. He allows her to launch. Torres tells the team that the ship is slowly being surrounded. They will be in firing range in 15 minutes. Capricorn meets up with Jared. He sees the Mark II trying to take the capsule with Camille's parents, and he shoots at it, killing his parents in the process. In the show, it was just his mother who gets shot in the capsule, and his father turned on the AUG, and Camille was forced to shoot him down. Furious, Camille rushes Jared, but Capricorn restrains him from behind. He realizes that Quattro isn't in his mobile suit. The two engage in battle with their beam sabers. Camille is able to slice through the arm of the Rick Diaz and stabs through the cockpit, killing Capricorn. Just like in the anime, he says the name Amelie before dying. I'm sure she will have her own manga very soon. He goes for Jared next, but Emma comes in and stops them. Jared is frustrated that Emma is betraying the Titans, but as Quattro comes in, he realizes he can't take all three and retreats. Basque yells at Jamaicon for letting the AU get away once again. He threatens him by saying he can't go to Jamatov, saying that he failed once more. Basque takes the Brunei back to Gryps, while Jamaicon follows the Argama into the shoal zone. The Argama crew now has all three Mark II units. Camille consoles with Rekkawa as he cries over the loss of his parents. In Dakar, we get a more detailed version of Hyman trying to get power from EFF. He proposes to focus attention on the AUG. Admiral Terrence and the representatives of the EFF government have been denying his request. This is when he says that the best way to make this happen is to give the Titans full authority over EFF. Jamatov takes advantage of EFF's laziness. The representatives make up the EFF military and the EFF government. Hyman is a part of both. He says let's put it to a vote knowing that he is the only military official there. Jamatov, using slimy political tactics to gain control of EFF's military, makes more sense than EFF voting for it. I mean, EFF is incompetent, but not that incompetent. Titans now have ultimate power. While in the shoal zone, Quattro mentions that they have data on the debris field. They could use AI to extrapolate where all the debris is going to be at any moment. Hinken wonders if they could shoot their cannons to allow them to move a little faster. Quattro thinks that might work, but for different reasons that Hinken is thinking. On the Titan Salamis-class ship, the Dunkirk, they are also able to use data to extrapolate where the Argama's location in the debris field will be. He calls higher-ups for reinforcements. On the Argama, Quattro and his nipples talk to Rekkawa. She wants to know why she can't call him Char. He doesn't want her getting used to the name, and he mentions that he doesn't want any Spacenoid association to the AUG. It would most likely be misinterpreted, and they would simply be labeled as another Zeon remnant group. Quattro whispers 4 of the sexiest words in the English language. Go check on Camille. She goes to see Camille, who tells her that his parents were terrible and cheating on one another. This is just mentioned in an offhand comment in the manga. In the anime, we actually see the two fighting over their marriage. Later, she meets Quattro in the mess hall. Fa also heads to the mess hall. While heading there, she runs into Caesar, who invites her to his room. Did Caesar just try to have sex with Fa? Luckily, Hinken comes over and tells them that it is past curfew, scaring them off. She goes to the mess hall, overhearing Quattro and Rekkawa talking about Fa being too young to bear the burdens of Camille's feelings. Bright notices her and she runs away. He tells Quattro that he wants Emma's probation lifted early as they need more people. Fa goes to Camille's room and tries to cheer him up. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. Fa wonders why he won't let her comfort her like Rekkawa. Naturally, she responds by taking off her clothes. Camille pushes her away. I mean, that's probably the best way to get your mind off of things, though. Man, Camille is like the anti-Kira. Our Lord and Savior Jesus doesn't deny sex, damn it. The team are making their way through the debris field. They blew up a bunch of mobile suits as a distraction. Luckily, Dunkirk fell for it. Meanwhile, the Jupiter's-class ship decelerates as it makes its way to the Earth's sphere. They try to reach out to EFF lines, but there is no response from anyone. They don't want to use trade lines for fear of them being compromised by Zeon remnants. Scirocco thinks that something weird is going on. He still isn't getting a signal from anyone. It is clear that no EFF members are monitoring this area of space. They notice something out in the distance, about 6 hours away. Scirocco could reach it in 30 minutes in his masala. In the anime, a mysterious man shows up in the masala and no one knows who it is. In the manga, they really are drilling into your heads that EFF is quite incompetent, so Scirocco goes and takes it into his own hands. Back on the Argama, Quattro interrogates Emma regarding her desires to join the AUG. She wants to fight for justice, but is unsure if that aligns with what the AUG wants. This is when Quattro tells them about the situation regarding Colony 30 of Side 1. He then goes on to explain G3 gas. It seems that Emma is completely ignorant to what the Titans were actually doing. In the anime, it is Requa who reveals this information to Emma. Quattro asks her if she is willing to give her life to the AUG, and she agrees. Later, Blex waives her probation and makes her an official AUG pilot. They are also informed that Anaheim Electronics have reached their location, and also EFF gave all control to the Titans. Blex and Quattro expected this. They tell Bright this is why they initially attacked Green Noah 1. Bright recognizes how far ahead they think. In the anime, one of the Mark IIs was destroyed, but since it wasn't destroyed in the manga, they give it to Anaheim Electronics to try to reverse engineer the mobile suit. Quattro, Hinken, and Blex plan on heading back with Anaheim Electronics to the moon. Bright tells Quattro about how Amado was quite a handful to command, so he is sure that he can handle Camille while Quattro is gone. That is when the red alert goes up. An unknown vessel is approaching. They all go to the bridge to find out that it is Scirocco approaching them. Rather than remain a mysterious man, he introduces himself to the AUG crew and even knows of Bright's exploits during the 1-year war. He wants to board the ship. Bright allows it in hopes that Scirocco doesn't know what the AUG is since he has been away from Earth. He boards and tells them that he has been unable to contact EFF and wonders what is happening on Earth. He has been gone for 5 years. They invite him on the ship to explain. Quattro and Scirocco are able to sense one another. Scirocco is also able to sense Camille and is able to sense Camille's despair. They tell Scirocco that the reason he probably can't get in contact with EFF is that the Titans are currently restructuring the organization. The man from Jupiter hasn't heard of the Titans. They tell him that the Titans use their desire to take out Xeon Remnant to gain full authority. Haptimus thinks that the Titans don't sound like a great group, but they fall within the realm of EFF, so he has to see the other side as well. He takes his leave. The Argama crew's buttholes were tighter than Hamon's spacesuit during their interaction with Scirocco. Quattro has a thought, but drops it. Quattro, Hinken, and Blex make their leave with Anaheim Electronics crew to Granada. On the moon, the Titans have taken full control of Granada. A group of friends are at a cafe having a conversation. One guy begins talking shit about the Titans when a Titans member overhears their conversation and arrests them. Blex, Quattro, and Hinken pass by the situation. It seems the Titans are spreading fear fast. Hinken heads to the Radish while Quattro goes to Anaheim Electronics' main office. Meanwhile, the Dunkirk and the Alexandria were tricked by the AUG in the Shoal Zone. They make their way back to the moon where Bask tasked them with pressuring Anaheim Electronics. He is to meet with Major Shelley, the commanding officer of the mobile suit team. Jamaicon recognizes that name as the famous Compe Island flight instructor. Remember, Compe Island is what EFF renamed Solomon. Jamaicon is just glad that Bask isn't mad at them for losing the Argama. Jamaicon tells the Dunkirk captain that once Bask has no use for you anymore, he will merely sacrifice you as a pawn in battle. Jamaicon is informed that Anaheim Electronics is offering them essentially scraps. He calls them AUG sympathizers and takes matters into his own hands. Quattro meets with Sergeant Kignan, who calls him Char. This plays out just like the anime, and he is informed that Axis is making its way to the Earth sphere. He thinks about Haman. Jamaicon goes to interrogate AE while Quattro makes his way to the offices. He goes to meet with Sumari. If you are following our coverage of Char's deleted affair, we have met Sumari before. She is friends with Natalie and helped create Haman's Shini Vice. Sumari lets him know that AE is playing both sides. She shows him a new Anaheim Electronics mobile suit, the Marasai. Quattro recognizes that the Marasai is the Rick Diaz, with slightly heavier armor. She tells him one of her co-workers stole the data when he was reassigned to a new team. He asks Sumari to keep it a secret for now. Quattro gives her Camille's training data to use on the Type 06. Of course, this is referring to Zeta Gundam. Sumari wants to show him the 000 unit, but he has to meet with Blex. They meet with Melanie Hugh Carbine, chairman of AE, who is helping the AUG. They want to make a move on Jaburo, but they don't have any new intel on it. They think that the Titans are on the move. They need to talk to the money man, Wong Li, first. Wong is complaining to Hinken, who is meeting with Major Maniti Mandina. In the anime, the two main AUG ships were the Argama and the Radish. In the manga, there is a third ship called the Irish, the flagship of the Irish-class ships. We didn't talk about the Irish-class ship during our coverage of the anime, so let's do it now. The Irish-class ship is a mobile suit carrier that takes designs from both the Argama class and the Magellan class. This ship has more firepower than the Argama with more megaparticle cannons. There are anti-ship capabilities, but there are no anti-ship guns, so their main defenses are the mobile suits they carry. Along with the Irish and the Radish, there were about 12 of these carriers made. It is equipped with 2 megaparticle cannons and a 5 secondary single-barreled beam cannon. Miniti is the one that will be assigned the prototype Nemos. They know Anaheim Electronics is working with the AUG, but Basque doesn't want the Titans to touch AE at all. They must remain unharmed. Jamaicon continues to pester Anaheim Electronics. That is when Major Shelley Page has been reassigned to the Alexandria. She is a new character specifically to this manga. Optimus Scirocco looks up intel on Hyman. He can't believe that someone so dumb can take control of the Earth sphere. But since it is happening, Scirocco decides that he is going to rewrite the ending. And that will do it for this episode. We see some really unique changes in this episode that really makes this manga stand out from the anime. Scirocco ultimately coming to the Earth sphere as a neutral party is interesting, and I am excited to see that change over time. Retconning players like Sumeri into the Zeta lore works for me. So far, I have no problems, but that could always change in the future. In our next episode, we will be introduced to the 000 unit that Sumeri was talking about, the Zero Shiki. We will also see the Gundam Physalis from Stardust Memory, and the Rick Diaz prototype version will make an appearance. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, when recalling thoughts about Haman, it is probably best to not have their age be the first thing you think of. Peace.